Student Mari Bailey is suing her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old civil engineer Hassan Smith, for a series of unpaid loans. Hassan says Mari is exaggerating.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 467 on the calendar in the matter of Bailey versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Bailey, the defendant was a former friend, boyfriend of yours. You claim a series of loans to him. He says whatever money that you gave him were gifts. Correct?
Yes.
Who is this?
My girlfriend.
Why is she here?
Because she spoke to Maury after the incident happened, and she explained to her what happened.
I don't know what incident you're talking about. You'll tell me, I'm sure. Ms. Bailey, did you date him for a period of time?
Yes, I dated him for a period of about 8 months during my senior year of high school.
And how long ago was that?
That was everything ended around August of 2000.
And how old were you?
At the time we broke up, I was 18.
Where'd you get this money from?
I had an inheritance from an aunt. She had died when I was 13, and she had left me this money so I could go to college. And I decided to go to 100 college, so I had a little left over.
And you were able to take the money out yourself?
Yes. It was left to me, and when I turned 18, it was turned over to me.
Okay. The first loan was in August?
Yes.
For what?
It was $2,000 because he said he wanted a new car. His car had been crashed quite a few times, and they couldn't fix it, or it was too much money to fix it, whatever, he wanted a new car. And so I lent it to him, and I explicitly said it's a loan, and I will need this money back.
Did he say when he would pay you back?
He never really said anything. He just said, you get it by next year, when I could get money back, whatever. You'll get it by next year.
Whatever is not a contract. Did she give you $2,000?
No.
No?
No.
Show me proof that you gave him $2,000.
I have bank receipts from that month. There was actually a lot of transactions. What he would do is he would call me, and he would wake me up in the morning and take me to the ATM before the banks could open, so I would have to go to the ATM. Because the ATM could only take out $800 at the time, I would have to go to 3 different ATMs on a day. And because there was only a certain amount of money that I could take out on a certain day, I had to go to 2 days. So my bank receipts reflect that.
Does that sound more familiar, Mr. Smith?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't. So you never got this money.
I got a portion of the money, which
how much?
$700 my car cost. My
how
car
much?
Actually cost $750, which I did receive from Maury, and which I told her I was to pay it back, which I did not pay it back at the time.
Why?
But, we broke up before she got it, and I wasn't, able to get in contact often. I work. I'm engineering and training, so I cannot have waking up in the morning and going to see her because I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got to work at 3:30, and she was.
Excuse me.
I don't care about your work. You borrowed this money from her.
Not $2,000 though.
No, $750.
Yes, yes.
Okay, $750.
I do say I do owe that. I do owe that money. But
excuse me, Judge. There was also about $1,400. He couldn't afford his insurance, so I paid 2 months of his insurance.
Let me take care of this.
Okay.
Okay. But in your answer, sir, you don't say that you owe her the money. In your answer, you say, I needed a car, and she offered to help me buy a car.
Yes.
She offered to give me the money.
She offered, but I owe that money because she gave me that money.
Oh, well, you didn't say that here. You didn't agree that you owed her that money. All right, $750. What else?
There was also his insurance was about $711 a month on 2 months. One was September of 2000, and the other one was October of 2000. He could not afford to pay his insurance, so I paid 2 months of insurance, and the total came out to about $1,400. Each check was $711.79, and I have the checks here.
Which were not cash because I did not have any checks to cash. I didn't have a bank account to cash. You cannot cash a personal check at a check cashing.
Excuse me, but it was written out to the place, so
but I did not
that's
use
why
a check.
What happened is they did an electronic check or something. I handed him the original check that I wrote out, and that's the check that was sent to my bank. So the check was cashed, and he got it.
My insurance was canceled October of 2000. So I'm not understanding how she says that I have paid money for my insurance to be written out and paid for by the insurance company.
Did you ever have a conversation with her about your car insurance?
Yes.
Of course you did, because if you say your car insurance was canceled, then you must have had a discussion with her. She was your girlfriend about, I don't have money for car insurance.
Oh, no,
I have 2 checks made payable for $711.79. They're bank checks.
Yes.
What was that for, sir?
That wasn't to me. At the time when she wrote out...
Just a second. That went to you.
Yes, but I did not cash it. When she wrote out to me, she was still there. I told her I couldn't cash the check. I didn't want the check.
You can't cash the check.
I couldn't. So I gave it back to her, and then it was open. I couldn't cash the check because I didn't have a bank at the time. I could not have no way of cashing the check. And it wasn't my insurance company.
It was paid.
But they even know. They would have mailed me a copy of the check.
It was paid, both of these checks.
I paid, my insurance company was canceled, and I had another insurance company with my mother's name.
These were paid, sir. Capital payment plan.
Okay, yes.
What else?
I have a tape here. He knew it was a loan. He always knew it was a loan every time. When I gave him those checks, I said, when am I getting back my money? Every time we had a conversation, it would be about am I getting back my money?
What I want to know is what the girlfriend is doing here.
The girlfriend, what happened
just-
is, he found out I was suing him. He calls me. I told him, I will see you in court. I will not talk about this over the phone. And his girlfriend calls me. And that's what happened.
Stand up here. What did you call her for?
I called her to speak to her about what. I just wanted to know why she was suing him.
For money.
Exactly. No, I wanted to know the reason why, like how it went about, like the
What is it your
situation.
business?
Because he's my boyfriend. That's the reason why I wanted to know.
Why?
I just wanted to
To
know
know
why
what
she
debt
was
he
suing
had.
him. He told me he didn't owe her any money. That's
He
why
told
I
me he
wanted
didn't
to
owe
know.
her any money to start with.
Exactly, and that's why I called her to find out. And she told me that she paid for his car. She told me the same exact thing, and she actually told me that after she broke up with him, that's when she had gave him $700 to pay for his car. And she told me that she spent a lot of money on him. She bought him a lot of gifts and all of
Gifts
this.
is not what we're talking about.
Well, she said she spent a lot of money on him.
Sure she did. She, 18-year-old, got her hands on some money, and that's the problem. But this money was for his car and his car insurance.
But $3,000 doesn't add up at all.
No,
So-
$2,150 is what it adds up to.
Well, actually, there's a lot more money. I did loan him the $2,000. He's saying it's $700 right now.
If you next time you loan somebody money, Miss Bailey, and if you think there's going to be a dispute as to the amount, get a note. What else?
There's a tape here. He was fully aware there was a loan. He called my
Let
machine.
me see.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marie Bailey says ex-boyfriend Hassan Smith owes for several unpaid loans, and she has an audio tape to prove it.
Go ahead.
511-106 p.m., January 23rd.
Crazy, I don't know what you're doing, but for coming back this long for 3 years later and suing me for $3,000, I don't know what the hell to sue you for. I'm not gonna sue you for that you put me through, but I need to spend your mother's house and me helping you, so you live it off of me. So therefore, I should kind of sue you. But we'll see about this in court because ain't no way you're gonna win it. They can teach you God. I mean, it says to me.
I wish I understood a word you were saying.
I was saying that she was suing me for $50,000 3 years later, which was way too weird because when she did call me and want the money, I told her I would give her the money, no problem. But it came so sudden for her to come to court and say I owe her $3,000. It hit me with such shock that saying $3,000 that it was shocked that $3,000 out of $700 from $3,000, it was pretty weird.
Insurance. You forgot about the insurance, Mr. Smith. You forgot about the insurance. You mean you were shocked that 3 years later she came to you and said, I want my money?
Yes, but she could have maybe signed a contract, and I would glad signed a contract for the money I owe her, but she didn't.
Yeah,
And-
please. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Oh, and bank statements saying that she wrote checks out to me. If it wasn't my insurance company, I would like to have a receipt from my insurance company saying it was paid in full. You know, all they always mail.
How is she going to get that?
Because the check is run out from her address, so they mail a copy of what is paid, a receipt, and the mail with that. Always, I have a checking account too. They always do that.
They mail it to the person who wrote the check rather than to the insured. It says your insurance is now paid. We want to let you know that
if the check wasn't mailed out to me, why would they mail it back to me?
Because maybe she didn't trust you. And you told me you didn't have a checking account.
At the time.
So, well, I don't care what you have now. Now is not important, Mr. Smith. Do you think you're smarter than I am?
No, I'm not.
You're done right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,150. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We had a baby together which died, and I broke up with her so suddenly, and she hated me for that.
I don't know why he's bringing up the past history. It was not brought up in the case. I don't know why he's trying to bring it up, trying to make me look bad or whatever, but it has nothing to do with it.
I don't hate her for it.
I don't want to have any contact with the defendant or anything, and I'm just so happy to have him out my life for good.
Things like this happen all the time with people who are mad because they got left by somebody who doesn't want them anymore.
I don't want him. I am happily engaged. I have a new life.
I guess money makes the world go round. That's one thing that can make you happy if you can't have that person that you want.
I don't even think about him except the money that he owed me.
Don't get in a relationship when it involves money.
If he wants to think that I still want him, let him. If that makes him sleep better at night, whatever.
27-year-old tutor Nafisa Habib is suing her ex-boyfriend's friend, 28-year-old bakery worker Anise Fields, for smashing her windshield with a baseball bat.
Ms. Habib, both you and the defendant have a child.
Yes.
And that child was fathered by the same person.
Yes.
So that's how you know each other.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would assume that you don't like each other.
I have no problem with that.
Well, then you think she doesn't like you.
I guess, yes.
Because it's your claim that she smashed the windshield of your car.
Yes, ma'am.
When did this take place?
On January 12, 2001.
Where?
His uncle's house where he was staying there at the time.
This is the father?
Yes.
Of both children?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any other children?
Yes, I do.
How many?
4.
4 other ones?
4 children altogether.
Altogether. How old is your child?
My child is 3.
And yours?
He's 3. My child 1 month older than her son.
Tell me how it happened that you happened to be in the same location.
January 12th, he called me and asked me to bring over my daughter. He doesn't see her a lot, so I brought her over.
To where he was staying?
Yes. While we were there, I was downstairs in like the lounge area in the basement, and he was upstairs. And I heard some banging on the door. I thought he had locked himself outside the house. So I called upstairs, Rude Boy, did you lock yourself outside?
What's his name?
Rude Boy. By that time, he came downstairs. He said, Anise is outside.
Anise,
Yes.
that's you.
Me. Yeah.
I said, are you gonna let her in? He said, no, she's upset. She's gonna wanna fight. I said, fight who? That's when she busted the basement window. She had a bat in her hand, and I saw her. Rude Boy ran upstairs. I stayed downstairs. They were outside. I heard her yelling, what do you think, I'm stupid? Is she in there? Is she in there? I heard him yelling. He said, I'm gonna call the police. He came in the house. Apparently she left. He came downstairs. He didn't call the police. We started cleaning up the glass. At that time, I said, Rude Boy, let me drop you off at work. When I went to my car, opened my door, I saw the glass on my seat and saw she bust my windshield. I switched cars with my father and I went to her house. She invited me in. We talked for a while. The end result of the conversation was that Anise said she was going to pay for my windshield when she got her school money because she didn't have any money at the time. The very next day, after Anise busted my windshield, she called me and she apologized continuously. Nafisa, I'm sorry, this is not me. I don't go around busting girls' windshields. I felt sorry for Anise because I know how it is for a brother to allow you to believe that it's all about you and it's not all about you. So I felt sorry for her. I said, no problem, Anise, when you get the money.
So, bottom line is, you saw her with a bat
Yes.
break the basement window.
Yes.
But not your car window.
No.
But she did, in fact, tell you that she
Yes,
would
ma'am.
pay for it. Okay, let me hear you.
She's lying. Basically.
Why don't you just tell me what happened? You went
That
over
I wasn't there. No, I was not there. No.
Just a second. Are you telling me that you never went to the house?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
I think you have to come up with a better story than that. I'm going to tell you why. Because I believe her when she says that you came to the house.
Mm-hmm.
I believe her when she says that she saw you with a bat in your hand and that there was glass downstairs, the basement window. So I think we're going to start over again.
She's lying. He lives there. So he was there. So he can tell you. I was not there.
All right.
She's lying. I don't know. My basement window never got broke. I don't know how you could see somebody break the basement window from the basement. I don't know what she's talking about. Prior to this, she said I broke her window, busted her car up. She told my grandmother I did it. She let a friend of mine use her car. He crashed her car up. She said I did it. I don't know nothing about what this is about.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, Miss Judy, Judge Judy. I'm trying to be calm because I want to cry because I cannot believe that Jamar would sit up here and lie. He was supposed to watch Hanifa, but he said that he couldn't watch her. I didn't even know he was going to be here. Rude Boy, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Shh. Don't talk to him.
I'm
Can I
sorry.
see the police report, please?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Judge Judy, he also told me, Rude Boy himself told me that Anise had intentions several times to pay you for your car windshield, but things that came up. When I went to her house, I met her mother, I met her daughter, Asia.
You brought your daughter
I
to
met
my
her
house.
son.
No. Okay, just a minute. Wait.
Oh, God.
I can't believe you, Rude Boy.
Can't believe you.
Oh, it's over.
Never was anything.
Whatever, Rude Boy. Whatever.
If you talk amongst yourselves, you're leaving.
Excuse me.
Tell me why you reported this to the police 2 days later.
Well, I believed Anise. When she said she was going to pay me for the windshield, and when she called me the very next day after it happened, I believed her. I believed it. My father said, Nafisa, cover your tracks. If you get a police report, then at least you have that in case you have to take her to court. I did not believe it was going to have to go this far. It's only $183. I'm not asking her for cab money or the inconvenience she put me. My sister had to come and get me several times to pick up my children. I work 2 jobs. I raised 4 children by myself. I don't have time for this. This is so juvenile.
Mr. Jones, do you currently have a relationship with any of the 3 or 4 women?
This one here.
This
No,
one.
he doesn't.
Shh,
I'm sorry.
No.
I apologize.
No.
I'm sorry.
So you currently have a relationship with Anise.
Yes.
How long have you had that relationship with Anise?
Since last year, we started dating each other and being in a relationship last summer.
How many children do you two have together?
One.
Your other 2 children, do they have the same mother?
No.
What do you do for a living?
My teacher aide, bus aide.
Nothing.
Shh.
I'm sorry. I apologize. He's lying. I'm sorry.
Well, how was she taking me to work if she came over?
Just listen to me.
She's making up stuff.
Listen to me.
I'm sorry. I understand. I apologize.
Teachers' aid, bus aides don't
Yes.
make a lot of money.
Small money.
Small money doesn't make 4 children.
No, I make 4 children, but my money take care of my children.
Impossible. Impossible. Okay. Do you work, Anise?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at a bakery.
How many children do you have?
5.
Do all 5 children live with you?
Yes.
You make a lot of money in the bakery?
No, I don't. I also go to school.
How is your family subsidized?
From me working and going to school.
How much money do you make at the bakery?
I make $5.15 an hour.
$5.50 an hour gross does not support 6 people, and he certainly doesn't make enough to support you and your children. What kind of work do you do?
I tutor children full-time, and I work at a floral shop part-time.
How many children do you have?
4.
What other support do you get for your children?
I receive food stamps, and that helps a great deal.
How old are your other children, Mr. Jones?
10, 2.
So you have a new child, not with either one of these 2 women.
Yes.
And shortly after that child was born, you renewed your relationship with a niece. Is that right?
Yes.
Excuse me, miss.
Shh. $183 is what the windshield cost you?
Yes, ma'am.
Pay it. $183. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I have no beef with a niece. I think she's a beautiful sister. She's striving to make it happen for her and her family.
It was a lie.
This is juvenile. I hover above it. As women, as mothers, our goal in life is to raise children and to raise a nation.
I have no
Plus, he
idea.
wants me.
I don't want Jamar. We're just friends, and he knows this. This is fun to him.
Bobby Boone is suing the mother of his son, 18-year-old student Teresa Rose, for the cost of car speakers. Teresa is countersuing for attorney's fees.
Order. All rise. This is case number 144 on the calendar in the matter of Boone versus Rose. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Get ready for a lecture. Mr. Boone, you and the defendant evidently had a relationship, and you have a baby together. Your lawsuit, Mr. Boone, which I will dispose of very quickly, says that while you were together, she drove your car, you drove her truck, you put a stereo system in her car because you were doing a lot of the driving in her car. Then you broke up and you want your stereo system back.
Basically.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you have bigger things to deal with?
Yes, we do.
So why are you bothering with this dumb issue?
Because the money that I was going to get from the stereo system was going to go towards my son.
Why don't you get a job?
I've got a job.
Good. Use the money from your job. Do you understand? That's
Yes.
what you do, use money from your job. What I find most interesting is your counterclaim, which I will dispose of equally as swiftly. Your counterclaim, which is a little interesting, says that you and the plaintiff agreed while you were pregnant that the baby was going to be placed for adoption. And then Mr. Boone changed his mind.
In the hospital when we were signing the paperwork, yes, ma'am.
And because he changed his mind, it cost you about $1,000 for a lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want him to pay the $1,000 because he changed his mind.
I want him to pay the $1,000 because he lied to the judge and he lied to a lawyer. He said that I had given up my rights, which as soon as I found out he did not sign the paperwork, I signed the reversal papers, the dismissal papers, ma'am, and he went and got a court order against me to take the baby home with him. And that's not a place for a baby. And so it was either the baby goes home with him or I go and get a lawyer and have the baby come home with me.
Ms. Rose.
Yes, ma'am.
First, take a tissue.
Thank you.
So let me understand. You're in the hospital. You had signed a release for the baby.
Yes, ma'am.
He changed his mind.
Yes, ma'am.
And then he went to court and said, she's given up her rights to the baby, so I want to take my son home with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Had you ever discussed placing the baby for adoption, Mr. Boone?
We had. We went to a few meetings with the lady of Lifeline. The first meeting we went to, I told her I did not want to do it. I did not want to give the baby up for adoption. And
did you change your mind?
Well,
You're allowed to tell me that I did change my mind.
well, I did, but I mean, I never wanted to give him up for adoption to begin with.
I understand that, but I want you to be very honest with me. You
Yes.
had, in fact, discussed it with her.
Yeah, we had discussed it. We were
And-
making an option.
And you did see your son and then change your mind.
I watched him be born. That was, probably one of the happiest days of my life.
So far.
So far.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
It's a very short life so far.
Yes.
Ms. Rose,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to try to explain it to you in a way you'll understand it.
Yes.
Let us say the situation was reversed, and the two of you had decided, especially Mr. Boone, that he wasn't ready for parenthood, he couldn't deal with it financially, he couldn't deal with it emotionally, and he wanted to place the baby for adoption, and you said okay. And then you went through the experience of having your baby, you looked at him, you fell in love, and you changed your mind.
Ma'am, I was
Just
already...
a second.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm reversing the situation. Do you think really that Mr. Boone could sue you for changing your mind and therefore being financially responsible for this baby for the next 21 years?
Ma'am, he has not helped me.
No. You're not paying attention. I don't know if you're not getting it. Do you think that it would be right or fair or legally appropriate for you to be sued by him? Because the law would require that he support this baby until the baby is 21 years old. And you would come to me and say to me, Judge, I fell in love with this baby. I changed my mind. I couldn't give him up. You think he could sue you?
He's suing me for speakers.
Well,
I don't
he's
see
not. He may sue you for speakers, but that's not going to happen here. You have no claim against him. He changed his mind. He's allowed to change his mind, just as the law would give you an opportunity to change your mind soon. You know, within 24 hours, some places 48 hours. That's a very important time. So your parents are now responsible for taking care of your baby.
I am.
But you live at home.
Yes, ma'am, but I pay for everything. I've gotten no help from him. My parents have been helping me out as much as they can.
So I said to you, your parents are responsible for the baby. He says that it's been made very difficult for him to see his son. Why is that?
Because my lawyers have said that unless he helps out, he got arrested a week after the baby was born.
For what?
Theft of property. He got fired from his job. He stole. Even his little friend over there knows about it. He got arrested and fired from his job for stealing. He stole digital cameras, CD players. He stole cameras. He stole lots of stuff. I thought my birthday present was, you know, I don't know how he would have gotten $500 to get my birthday present, but I have that.
So?
And then I have,
had he been arrested before?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Comes under the category of you picked him.
Yes, ma'am. I know.
And he's got an interest in seeing this child. Yes. Now, your lawyers may say to you, unless he contributes to the baby's support, he's not going to see him. But that's being very short-sighted. Yes. It's being very short-sighted because let's say a year from now or 2 years from now, he's working, he's got a good job, and he says, now I want to see the baby and I can contribute my $25 a week, whatever it is. And the judge said, yes, you're entitled to, you're the father. Mm-hmm. Well, then it's been 2 years or a year, and you're introducing a new person into your baby's life rather than have the baby see him regularly. You can't be selfish about that, and you can't be childish. 2 18-year-olds make a baby, but then you have to be a grown-up if you decided to keep him.
Ma'am, I've tried to be as grown-up as possible about this. I've tried to do everything that I possibly can. He threatens me. He's threatened me since the day the baby was, since I took the baby home. He's threatened me since I took the baby home to take me to court. He said that he's going to get full custody of the baby. He would call my house.
That's not a threat. Just a minute.
Yes,
Ms. Rose, that's not a threat. Now, I know you consider that a threat,
yes,
but it isn't a threat.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bobby Boone says the mother of his child, Teresa Rose, owes for the cost of car speakers. Teresa says Bobby owes her for interfering with the adoption of their baby.
The law in this country is that in regards to custody disputes between a mother and a father, nobody gets preference. The fact that he may have to prove that he has the ability, the capability, and that he'd be a better parent than you, that's a whole different ball of wax. But he has the legal right to do that. That's not a threat. But I think your lawyer is being very short-sighted if your lawyer says, don't let him see the baby. Very short-sighted. Now what do you want to say?
After the baby was born, you know, I was giving her money on a regular basis, and then she heard a bunch of stuff about me that wasn't true, and then tells me I can't see my son. I call her house. Her stepdad tells me I was not allowed to call there anymore. I wasn't allowed to come to her house. I was never going to see my son again. That's his words. He took me off before the baby was born to one of his friends' house, and they were telling me, you know, the best thing I can do is give him up, and he'll pick up the pieces. He even mentioned it more than once that if he wanted me in the bottom of Smith Lake, that's where I would be. And up to the point where they told me I wasn't allowed to call or go over there anymore. I was giving her money on a regular basis.
Just 1 second. Have you gone to court with regard to custody and visitation?
Not yet.
Well, why don't you, sir?
Well, that's what I'm working on.
What do you mean working on it? You don't have to work on it. You have the right to go into your local family court or juvenile court, file a petition asking to legally be declared the father of this child,
yes,
and asking for either custody, if you feel as if you're the better parent, or visitation, regular court-ordered visitation, and they will also fix a support schedule for you. Yeah. The problem, Mr. Boone, is, and I don't want you to feel so angry at her parents, because her parents know that an 18-year-old who is now saddled with an infant, that changes her life forever, as it may change your life forever.
Yes.
Her parents clearly understand that if she were prepared to do that, that would probably be in her best interest to do it, if she were prepared to do that, if she felt as if it were in her best interest. So you are really affecting her, her family, her parents, the baby, and you have a job doing what?
Well, right now I'm working delivering pizza.
You're a pizza delivery person. And just pay attention. You're a pizza delivery person. Do you know how much the reports indicate it costs to raise a child in this country from age 0 to 21?
No, ma'am.
$260 some odd thousand dollars if you want to educate your child, medically take care of your child, clothe your child, sporting equipment, sneakers, orthodontist, etc., etc., etc.
The job I have has excellent benefits, and he would be on my insurance, and I would take full responsibility for him, and that's what I...
Not on $12 an hour you won't, Mr. Boone. In the meantime, you have a responsibility as a father, and that is to go to court and file a petition seeking to legally be declared the father of this child in a court. Say, right now I'm delivering pizzas. I'll give you a piece of what I earn. I want to support him, but I also want to see him. Go ahead.
Ma'am, I have done as much as I can to let him see the baby, even though my parents tell me not to.
Shh.
Even though my parents tell me not to talk to him and stuff, I will still call him. He never even asks about the baby. I'll sit there, I'll talk to him, he'll ask me how I am. He'll ask.
Mr. Boone, don't interrupt her.
He will never even ask how the baby is. He has not helped me, yes, the first month or so before he started saying, oh, I want my speakers back. Because I made it perfectly clear to him that we were not going to get back together because he hurt me so badly. I'm sorry, that just is a very emotional thing. I was in the hospital, just had my baby, and I found out it was going to go home with him. His home is not a safe, I don't feel it is a...
That's not emotionally hurting you. Listen to me. You said, I am giving this baby up. He said, I don't want to. I am going to fight to keep the baby so that I will have him in my life. That's not a trick.
I went...
Shh. He had a choice. Just as I said to you, Miss Rose, you could have the same change of heart. You could have had the same change of heart. Fact is, you didn't. And it's going to be very difficult for you. But it's a big mistake not to let him see this baby in a comfortable circumstance so that he and the child develop a relationship now without acrimony, without fighting. Anyway, your lawsuit's dismissed, and Miss Rose, so is yours. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Oh my God, he lives in a nasty little trailer. They have roaches. They have 5 people living in a little single wide trailer.
She's let me see him 3 times in over a month.
He got fired for stealing a week after the baby was born.
I've made some mistakes, but I've paid for my mistakes.
He only wanted to keep me, and that's just that.
Is suing her neighbor, 43-year-old cafeteria worker Deborah Jones, for an assault. Deborah says after an argument over a parking space, Juanita sprayed her with mace.
Order. All rise. Yes, case number 115 on the calendar in the matter of Taylor versus Jones. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
It is clear that you two ladies are neighbors from the complaint and answer that I've read, and it is your claim, Ms. Taylor, that the defendant assaulted you over the way your car was parked. She says that she was defending herself after you sprayed her with mace. So I'd like you to explain to me what kind of housing complex you live in.
It's an apartment housing complex, low income. Here's some pictures of my...
I want to see where the cars are parked, because this...
This is how the cars were exactly.
Let me see, please.
My car is back here. This is hers, and this is her boyfriend's.
Okay, let me see. Okay, yours is the blue car.
Yes.
And when was this picture taken?
That was like a month after. That was on the 12th, May 12th.
But it's not the date of the incident?
No, ma'am.
Now, according to your complaint, the defendant, who I assume you've had difficulty with before, came to your house one morning and asked you to move your car because your car was parked so close to her car she couldn't get her car out.
Yeah.
And what time did she come to the house?
Around 9 o'clock in the morning, banging at my door.
And what did she say when she came to your door?
When I came to the door, she was hollering about me moving my car so she can get out, or whatever the case was. And
no, not whatever the case was. Moving your car so that she could get her car out.
So she could get out, yes.
Okay.
She was hollering.
Now, when had you parked your car?
When? The night before that, when I got in.
Was her car there?
Yes.
How close did you park your car to her car?
About that close. I had to parallel park.
Well, this shows that there's plenty of space for her to get out.
Like you said, we've
Were
had
you on her
problems.
bumper? Were you
No.
on her bumper?
No.
Was she on your bumper?
Yes, she was.
Of course you were on her bumper, otherwise she wouldn't have come to your house. She was trying to get to work.
Okay.
Why would she come to your house if you weren't on her bumper? Right? Come on. You have to use common sense, Miss Taylor.
Okay.
Okay? And the fact that you didn't want to move your car, or that you've been having difficulty with her, nobody takes the time to go to your house in the morning and say, move your car, get angry, unless there's a reason she can't move a car.
May I say something, ma'am?
Yeah.
I went to get my keys to move my car.
Just a minute. She comes to the door, move your car, and you said what to her?
I have to go and get, I didn't say anything. I was going upstairs. Okay, I was going upstairs and I'm getting my keys.
Did you say anything to her?
I said okay and went upstairs to get my keys.
Okay, go ahead.
My mace is on my keys. I went to get my keys and I looked outside and she was, well, I heard when I was going upstairs, I heard her say she was going to move, she was going to hit my car. I looked outside and I see she was doing the U-turn to get up on my bumper. I called the police, told them, she said she's going to move my car.
Just a second. She was doing a U-turn?
Yes, because her boyfriend pulled his car out by that time. I told the police, and it's in my police report, she said she's going to hit my car, quote. When I was saying that, she went around, made a U-turn, and she hit my car. I told her she just hit my car, I'm going out there. I went out there to make sure it wasn't any damages. It wasn't no damages. She was hollering, we were arguing. It was cold outside. I told her, I'm not going to be out here arguing with you. It's cold. I have on my night clothes. I'm sleepy. I'm just going to pay you dust. She was still arguing, following me up to my door, which is around the corner, and hers is right here. She's following me up to my door. She's still arguing and hollering or whatever.
What was she saying to you?
Telling me I'm getting on her nerves because she, wait a minute, well, you got the picture. She always parked by that pole. When I parked by that pole, she just, I don't know, she don't like it because that's her, quote unquote, that's her spot, that's her pole. She has said it before, that is her pole. So when I park by that pole, I just get on her nerves when I do that. When I park on the street, because I usually park in the parking lot, she just get on my nerves. I park in the parking lot in the wintertime and park on the street in the summertime. I just get on her nerves. So I guess that just ticked her off.
Go ahead.
She came up on my porch. She was calling me B's and H's or whatever the case. So I called her too. You know, and I'm like, you know what? Forget it. You've been wanting me to sit out here and argue with her since 3 years that I've been living there. She wanted me to go out there and argue with her, and I never did. I paid her dust. Didn't even speak to her too many times. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna even go through with this. I'm going back to bed. It's cold. I gotta go to work. She come up to me and she swing on me. So I have my mace in my hand anyway. So I spray it with mace. She grabbed my coat.
Just a second. You said she swung on you. Exactly what did she do?
Well, in other words, she hit me with a closed fist. She swung her closed. When she came up, when I was going in the house.
Where on your body did she hit you with a closed?
In my face, right here.
Okay. So what did you do?
I sprayed her with mace. While I was spraying her with mace, I don't know if her boyfriend was trying to grab her or whatever, but he was right there on the porch as well. And there was a stick around in the vicinity or whatever. She threw my coat on the ground, and I go to pick up my coat. She picked up the stick. She tried to hit me in my face with the stick. I blocked it with my hand and grabbed it with this hand. Then her boyfriend grabbed me and just like turned me around, and I went in the house.
Did she hit you with the stick?
Yes.
Where?
On my hand. She hit my hand.
Okay. Did you have any injuries?
Yes.
What were your injuries?
My finger was broke. I couldn't work for like 2 months.
Let me see the report.
That's the report and the medical bills. Here's my x-rays.
And now I need the police report.
You only need the police?
And now I need the police report.
That's my police report.
Good.
Police report. X-rays.
Okay, now I'll hear your version of the story.
Hi. Okay, Your Honor, what happened was that morning I had just got up to get ready to go to work. So I was sitting up watching my gospel like I usually do on Sunday mornings. So I looked out the window and I seen her car on my bumper. Now we've been feuding for 2 years. Okay, I have a 7-year-old son that I have to get up every morning at 6:30 and send him to school. She don't have any kids. She plays her TV all night long. She have a dog that barks all night long. Every time when I go to her door and try to talk to her and I say, could you please turn your TV down? She turns it up even louder.
So you haven't been getting along. You looked outside the window.
Okay.
I looked outside. March 25th and you saw her car on your bumper.
I looked outside. I seen her car was on my bumper. So I said, by her being the way she is when I go try to talk to her, I said, I'm not going there with Juanita today. So what happened was I sat there, and then I looked at my watch, and I seen it was getting close time for me to go to work. So I went around there, and I knocked at her door. I said, could you move your car off my bumper? She said, I ain't moving. And that's when she slammed the door in my face and went on upstairs. Okay, I left from her door. So then I went on in the house, thinking maybe she'd come and move the car. I sat there for a while. She never came to move it. So then what I did, I went back around to her house. I knocked at her door again. That's when she came outside. She sprayed me. Okay, me and her, we passed words. She sprayed me with mace first before I even attempt to do anything to her.
It's not what you say in your complaint, in your answer.
She sprayed me.
No. Pay attention.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Juanita Taylor says neighbor Deborah Jones assaulted her. Deborah says Juanita sprayed her with mace.
It's not what you say in your answer, Ms. Jones. You just testified that you went to her house once, and then you went back to your house and waited to see if she would move the car. You went back to her house again. She opened the door and sprayed you with mace.
Right.
Is that what you just told me?
That's right.
Well, I'm going to read to you what you wrote in your answer. She refused to move her car, and we started arguing. I walked away from her. Then she followed me around the building. The next thing I knew, she sprayed my eyes with mace. That's what you wrote in your answer. That's different from what you just told me.
Well, what happened, Your Honor, I left her house. When we got into a fight, that's when she followed me around the building. What I meant to say is, after she maced me, she followed me around the building.
No.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is she opened the door.
She opened the door.
She sprayed you with mace.
Yes, she did.
And you just walked away.
In my nightgown.
Wait a minute.
Quiet. And you just walked away.
Okay, what happened, Your Honor? When she sprayed me, me and her got to tussling, and I pulled her around the building, trying to defend myself. That's what happened.
Where'd you get the stick from?
Huh?
Where'd you get the stick from?
It was on the ground. She was macing me. I was defending myself to keep her from hurting me.
Why didn't you have your boyfriend move his car?
What happened was, he tried to move his car, Your Honor, but what happened, his battery had went down on his car.
But he got his battery fixed.
Huh?
Somehow it got fixed because he did move his car.
You know how it got fixed?
I'm asking you a question. Somehow it got fixed because he moved his car.
What he did was, once she moved her car, he went and bought some cables. And
When did she move her car?
What'd you say?
When did she move her car?
She moved her car after the policemen got there.
That's true. I was telling them she was on my bumper, and I was giving them a small version of the story. They told me to go on and move my car up. I went back outside with my nightgown on when I saw the police coming. The only thing she said was true, was that I did move my car up and the stick was on the ground.
Where did you buy the mace?
Kmart. We need a license. We can't have pepper spray up into a certain degree. I've looked into all of this.
You bought it at Kmart?
Yes.
But when I'm
Look
saying,
at it.
Your Honor, she
It's not
maced me
nothing.
first. If
Look
she
at it.
would have moved
Here are
her
my keys
car
right here.
like I asked her to, would none of this would have even started.
There's no question in my mind. Listen to me, Miss Jones. There isn't a question in my mind that Miss Taylor pulled her car up on your bumper. The two of you have been feuding for a long time. You went to her house in the morning. You were angry. There also isn't a question in my mind, Miss Taylor, that you answered her when she said, move your car, and she didn't say it in a very nice way, would you please move your car? But you also said to her, I'm not moving anything. The only reason you went outside was because she threatened to hit your car. You watched her. You saw that she did, in fact, hit your car, even though it was no damage, so you went outside. You should have moved your car.
May I say something before you go back?
Sure.
We have had problems constantly.
What are the problems, Miss Taylor?
My TV being up too loud, my music being on when I'm not even home. Again, I work third shift. She would say I play my music late.
Is it possible, Miss Taylor, that you're playing your television too loud? I just want you to think carefully. Is it possible?
Ma'am, I work third shift. No, it's not.
Has she asked you to turn it down?
She's asked me to turn everything down.
Okay. Is it possible that she hears these things through the walls of the apartment?
Your Honor, we've had conversations through the wall. She's complained about my water. She's complained about my bath water running too loud. I come home when I'm not working a full shift. I come home 3 o'clock in the morning running bath water. I hear her over there cussing and fussing. She's too loud over there. I'm coming home running a bath water. She has sent police over to my house when I have not even been there. He has been there for just silly reasons. He would tell me the police just left. Well, what are you doing? I just got in and they're asking for the lease owner.
You think she's got nothing better to do?
I don't think so, because she's heard conversations. She has heard a conversation going on between me and my best friend, and now we cuss to each other, and I'll be on the phone, my windows will be open or whatever, and we talk about each other. She has sat there. A neighbor came to me and told me, well, number one, how do I know that you were... Okay, well, they have come to me and told me things that I've said on the phone.
Miss Taylor? Okay. Let's start on the 24th of March. The 24th of March, you did a very foolish thing. Knowing that you had, and that you were in a rather acrimonious relationship with your neighbor, you exacerbated that situation by pulling your car right up to the bumper of her car. There's no question in my mind that you did that.
Okay.
Because despite the fact that she may be angry, she's on her way to work. She's not going to take the time to go out, come up to you, start an argument, if she could get her car out without doing that. So she came up to your house. I'm speaking now.
Okay.
So you did a foolish thing because the two of you really don't like each other. And if you don't really like each other, then what you're supposed to do is stay as far away as possible. And that may mean even parking your car someplace else, but certainly not parking your car right up on her bumper, which makes everybody very angry. Doesn't that make you angry? I'm speaking.
Okay.
Does it make you angry when somebody parks up on your bumper?
Yeah.
It makes me really angry if somebody parks up on my bumper and I can't get out. Number two, I also believe that you had absolutely no intention of moving your car at the time that she came screaming at your door at 9 o'clock in the morning to move your car because you don't like her and you figured let her sweat for a while. And the only reason you went outside was because you heard her say she was going to hit your car. Now, there is never a way that I'm going to be able to tell who sprayed who with mace first and who hit who with a stick first. Certainly.
Your Honor, she hit me with a closed fist first.
She
Then
sprayed me
this
first.
is how it went.
David is
She
the
hit me with a
witness.
closed. If she hit me with a
there.
If
Were
I
you there,
sprayed her,
David?
then
David
how
was
did she
there.
hit?
Step up, please.
It was just me, her, and David.
How you doing,
I don't
Your
know
Honor?
who he
Just
is.
a second.
He wasn't there.
I don't want to
Your
hear
Honor.
anything.
No,
I don't
he
wanna-
was not there.
Quiet.
Okay.
You were there.
Yes, ma'am, I was there.
Okay. How long have you been living in this apartment?
Oh, I don't live there.
You were just there that night.
Yes. The battery in my car had went down, so I left my car there. I came back over the next morning and asked Deborah, could she give me a jump? She didn't have no cables. So what it was, I pushed my car back. She never did come out to move her car, period. I pushed my car back, took her car, went up to the parts store and got some jumper cables. Came back, her car was still in the same place. I pulled, by me pushing my car back.
I just want to hear what
If I
happened.
didn't
What,
put-
if anything, that you saw involving these two? Now, look at me. I want you to tell me what you saw. Make sure, sir, that you tell me only what you saw.
Okay. When she knocked on the door, she come down, and when she come down, she had some keys in her hand. And we standing out on the porch. They're arguing. Next thing I know, I see her do this. And that's when they started fighting.
Your
I
Honor,
broke the fight up.
if I may, if it was a big deal when she went out and looked at the car, she could have sent the police over to my house like she did all those other nights.
No, I didn't call.
You could have called the police.
Don't speak to each other. Sit
Your
down.
Honor,
Sit
she
down.
could have called the
I
police
think
and
that you
told
both
her.
behaved. I
told
think that
them.
you both behaved badly. I think what you should have done, Miss Jones, is call the police.
Yeah.
That's what you should have done. I believe that you were both injured. The fact that you had a graver injury than she did, which was you had a broken finger as a result of being hit with a stick. She did not hit you with that stick until after you maced her, which are the injuries that you are complaining about. Now, you could have taken care of the situation before it even started by
No, I
not
could
doing.
not.
You're
There was no
interrupting.
way.
You're
I'm
interrupting
sorry.
me. Oh no, you could have taken care of the situation before it even started by not parking in a situation where you knew you were going to exacerbate an already hostile relationship with the defendant. You chose the night before when you parked to park, and you said to me her car was parked there. It wasn't as if her car came in after your car was parked. Her car was parked there. You chose to park your car in such a way that she could not get out. Now, the fact that she came to your door the next morning, she may have asked you to move your car. I believe that you had no intention of moving your car. You're angry with her, you're annoyed at her, and you didn't like her attitude.
Your Honor, her
I'm
car is-
speaking! Now, there was a mutual assault. You just got hurt worse. Your case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Come on.
She's petty, have no life.
She don't have a life.
She feels that everyone should live their life like she does. I'm young, I'm still vital.
If you had a life, you wouldn't always be trying to start something with me.
She's old, decrepit, and have nothing else better to do.
She need to get her own man.
Always bet on ugly, they always win.
Instead of her
24-year-old sales consultant Stephanie Wishner is suing 23-year-old medical assistant Marlena Colazzo for assaulting her outside a bar. Marlena says Stephanie instigated the fight by getting in her face.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 131 on the calendar in the matter of Wishner versus Colazzo. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Ms. Wishner, your claim is that the defendant assaulted you in a bar. You claim that she assaulted you both inside of the bar and outside of the bar later in the parking lot. Did you know her before this evening?
No, ma'am.
You had never known her before December 13th?
Yes.
Never spoken to her before?
Never.
Okay. So why don't you tell me about at least your version of what happened that evening?
Several friends of mine, we all decided that we would meet at a local bar, then go bowling, and then go back to the bar afterwards. So we all met, and that's where I was introduced to Marlena by a friend of mine.
Who's Marlena? That's you. Ms. Collazo.
Yes. And we then went bowling.
Who went bowling?
Mike, myself, two friends, Marlena.
So she went bowling with you?
Yes.
Okay.
I never really carried on a conversation with her because I didn't know her. Then after bowling, several hours later, we then went back to the bar to just hang out, have a couple of drinks, and just socialize. And that's when Michael had asked me that Kristen was coming down.
Another girl was coming?
Yes. And he had said that she liked him. He asked me if I would go along and say that I was his girlfriend. I said, that's fine. Marlena was on the other side of the bar, sitting with Kristen. They were carrying on a conversation.
So Marlena, Ms. Collazo, was sitting at the other side of the bar with this girl who had a crush on
Michael.
Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Got to get me a scorecard here.
Michael and I were standing there talking, and before I knew it, Marlena had come up behind me, grabbed the back of my hair, and yanked my head back, and began to yell at me and call me a liar and said that I had lied to her. And
lied to?
I had lied to her. She said that I lied to her or lied to Kristen. Michael had asked her to leave, so she had left the bar. From there, Kristen came up to me. She's like, I'm really sorry. She's like, you know, we were just standing there having a conversation. She's like, Marlena was supposed to come up and confront you and Michael about the situation, if you were lying or not. She's like, I never expected her to pull your hair.
So Ms. Collazo left because Michael told her to leave?
Yes.
And she left the bar?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to know why she had pulled my hair. I went outside. I was standing there on the edge of the sidewalk. Her car door was open. She was getting into the car whenever I had asked her why she pulled my hair.
How far away from you was she when you asked her that question?
I don't know.
Point to something in this room.
She was probably like where the flag is behind you, the navy blue flag on the right-hand side.
Okay, so pretty far away.
There was a pretty good distance between us.
Okay.
I didn't leave the sidewalk. I stood there and figured that I would carry on the conversation.
So you shouted to her, why did you pull my hair?
Exactly. I just wanted to know. I didn't care.
Why did you pull my hair? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Go ahead.
From there, she had shut the car door and began yelling at me. I guess she felt threatened.
Tell me what she felt. She shut the car door and started to yell at you. What did she say?
She just called me a liar and said that I lied to her about the whole situation when I didn't lie to her. I lied, you know, to Kristen. And she approached me.
So she left the car and came to you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
From there, we continued to exchange words, and before I knew it, she had jumped on me and slammed my head up against the car. It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I did $400 worth of damage to the car with my head that she bounced off of it. From there, she continued to jump on me and beat on me. She had scraped my face with her nails, pulled my contact out of my eye, and every time I tried to get up and get away, she continued to jump back on top of me. I had a bruise on my left inner leg from continuing to fall. Numerous times I had asked her to get off of me, that I wasn't going to fight her. I tried pushing her away, and when I pushed her away, she then bit me on my hand. And I have pictures if you want to see.
I sure do.
She had bit me on my left hand in between my thumb and my pointer finger. The pictures are really hard to see. I have scars on it from where she bit me. From there, finally somebody came outside and pulled her off me long enough for me to go inside and call 911 and have the paramedics come.
Okay, now you hit somebody's Grand Cherokee, and reading between the lines in your complaint, I gather that somebody was forced to pay for the damage on the Grand Cherokee. Who was that?
I had to pay $255.19. She was supposed to pay $220.19.
And you want her to pay not only the $255.19 that you paid for the truck, but also for your injuries that you sustained as a result of what you claim was the assault. Okay, did you finish your story?
I have all the medical reports. If you would like those.
No, I don't need them yet, but I may, so keep them handy. All right, Ms. Collazo, let's hear your version of the events.
Okay, everything's true up until the part to where we came over to talk to her. Also, she had talked to me earlier. She said she had no conversation with me at the bar at the bowling alley because earlier that day I had asked her and Mike, were they a couple, in conversation at the bar before we went to the bowling alley. And at the bowling alley, we did talk. I mean, you can't really bowl.
I don't
Okay, I'm just letting you know that we did speak. At the bar, yes, I was talking to Kristen. We were talking about the fact that Mike had told her that her girlfriend was there. And I said, what are you talking about? He doesn't have a girlfriend. She said, well, that's her right there. And I said, no, that's not her it's not his girlfriend. I said, they're making a fool of you, you know. And she's just like, I don't understand all that crying stuff. I was like, well, if you want to, I said, we can go over there and ask her right now, and you can stop sitting here being the, you know, the red thumb here. And go on with your business. So we go over to the side of her, and I tapped her. She was turned around. Mike was in between us, and I tapped her on her shoulder, and I asked her the question, and she said no. And she looked at me with this face, and she's just like, well, why do you care? Why do you care? And she started getting loud in the bar. Mike was standing in between us, and he did not ask me to leave. He said, Marlena, I know you're better than this. And I said, I know I am.
You can always make more money. You can't make more time. The only way you can have the most quality time possible is if you use your money to buy back your time.
Welcome to the Bedros Koulian Show.
Guys, I used to hate rich people because I thought they had a secret that I didn't have, and if only I had that secret, if only I was white collar and not blue collar like them, that I too would be rich. As it turns out, the way they think is how they got rich, and not so much the pedigree that they came from. Guys, welcome to the Bedros Koulian Show. Today's episode is how rich people think. And now that I'm rich, now that I've got everything that I desire in life, and I'm very grateful for that, I want to pass along to you how rich people think, because I come from being broke. I come from living in Section 8 housing. I come from being a foreigner to this country. I was as blue collar as they came. And so I want to tell you an interesting story, two very interesting stories actually, that will help you understand how rich people think. And when I worked at Disneyland, there was a time that I worked at Disneyland, and at the same time I worked at Oz, which was a gay bar in Southern California, in Buena Park, off the 5 freeway at Beach Boulevard. I worked at Disneyland, I worked at Oz, and I worked at LA Fitness as a part-time personal trainer. I had 3 jobs, and yet I kept running out of money, and I couldn't figure out how to acquire enough money to be able to actually pay my bills, let alone be rich, right? And I remember thinking, man, I'm getting taxed on everything I buy. I'm getting taxed on my income. I'm getting taxed on something that I sell. And it's like everything's being taxed in my life, between the taxing and then between trading my time for dollars, because everything I did as a personal trainer, one-on-one, I was trading time for dollars. As a bouncer at a gay bar, I was trading time for dollars. And as a busboy, and then ultimately a fry cook and dinner cook at Disneyland, at Carnation Cafe, I was trading time for dollars. Like, I ran out of time. It's like I had a small window of time to sleep, and then maybe get a 45-minute workout in the afternoon, and then I'd have to go to work, and then boom, 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 hit all those things, right? So I realized very quickly that when I would see the managers come through Disneyland, especially on Main Street restaurants, like, they were doing well for themselves. We heard that they were making 6 figures, and we're talking like this is the late 90s, right? Or actually mid-90s, not late 90s. So think 94, 95, 96. they're making six figures. So let's say 100,000, 120,000 a year. The managers that run the departments, I was like, man, they're dressed in suits, they're dressed in like nice dresses, nice clothes. They really carry themselves differently. They obviously are a different pedigree. And quite honestly, I started to develop a little resentment towards them because I didn't understand until later when I heard their stories that many of them started off where I was. They started off as a busboy, then as a fry cook or a host or a hostess, and as a server, and then worked their way up. And it wasn't until they actually understood how money worked that they started to acquire wealth, because you can get paid six figures, seven figures these days, right? And you could lose that money by way of outspending what you're making. I know plenty of rich people, and I put that in quotes, because while they are making multiple six figures, even seven figures in sales and revenue, and they're taking home, let's say, $300,000-$400,000 a year, their spending habits are keeping them in debt. They are leveraged, and they have debt. They are always trying to make that next sale, and they don't have that peace of mind that you would think a rich person would have, because they are not rich. What they have is a good income, but their spending habits exceed their income. And this happens at the $100,000 level, six-figure level, seven-figure level, eight-figure level. I've seen it happen everywhere. And quite frankly, I was guilty of this when I was new money, and I started discovering new money about 15, 16 years ago. I was spending out of my ability to earn. And a great example of that is in the early stages of Fit Body Boot Camp. Man, I bought a BMW 1M, which was a one-year run, right? It was a 2011 BMW 1M. It was just this one-year run, and that was it, limited quantity. I had a Nissan GTR, and then I had a Yukon Denali, right? I had 3 vehicles, but all of them I was paying payments on. Not that they should have all been paid for, right? Because if the interest rate is low, you're better off, leveraging that, getting credit. But my interest rate was low, but if you added the payments for all 3, there was no way I was able to do that, plus keep the operational cost of a brand new business at the time, Fit Body Boot Camp, plus my payroll, plus pay my taxes, right? Corporate taxes and personal taxes. And quite honestly, there was a time, and I talk about it in my book, Man Up, where I had to have a fire sale for those two cars, the BMW and the Nissan GTR. And it was the most heartbreaking thing ever, because my son and I would take that Nissan GTR out, 3-4 times a week on the highway back here, and we would zoom up and down the road. Like my son at the time, Andrew's 19 now, but back then he was, 6, 7 years old, maybe even as low as 5 years old. And dude, we would have so much fun, and he'd flip the 3 switches up to race mode, and then he'd say, "Gun it, Daddy," and I would gun it, and when the Nissan GTR, an all-wheel drive car, spins out, like, you had a perfect launch, and we're just like hauling down the highway, having a good time. He's laughing and giggling. And then all of a sudden one day I had to tell him, "Son, I'm sorry, we're selling this car," right? And it was a heartbreaking thing, and that's because I was making good money. That time I was already my company was making about $2 million a year. My personal income was probably about $250,000, right? $250,000 a year. But we had just bought a new house, and I've got 3 cars because I want to be flashy. I bought some watches. Shit, I don't even wear watches now, right? I've just never been into watches, but I thought that was the thing to do because the status and to show people that I made it. And this is even before Instagram and social media ever really popped off, right? But it's the stupid ways that we spend. So, all that to tell you, between the taxes and my poor spending habits, and obviously I'm committed to the idea that the government does not educate us through the school system, through the universities. They don't educate our parents, or our parents don't know how to educate us and make us financially intelligent. So what happens? You grow up dumb. The government wants you to grow up dumb. They want you to stay broke. They want you to be dependent, because the opposition, who is big government, and they are funded by the pharmaceutical companies, right? They are funded by the military-industrial complex. They are funded by the big, giant food conglomerates. They're constantly lobbying the government to keep you dumb, uneducated, broke, sick, tired, fat. Because if you are, then you're going to constantly seek out the government's assistance. This is how the government gets bigger. When we're constantly dependent on the government, the system, this is how they get bigger. So why do they have any interest in making you smart and creating financial intelligence with the generations to come and teaching you how to stay healthy? No, they need you to be dumb, broke, and dependent on them. So even the government doesn't want you to be in debt and or to be profitable. They want you in debt. So If you all of a sudden start making so much money and learned how to invest and create multiple income streams and all the things I'm going to talk about here in a minute, bro, what is the point then? You are eventually going to retire early, and now you're not paying into the government. You're not paying your taxes. And if you're smart, you're no longer going to start buying liabilities. You're going to start investing in assets. And if you're smart, you're not going to just do what the tax code says. You're going to figure out what the loopholes are in the tax code that are very legal and legit and real, that the rest of us take advantage of, that once I learned, I took advantage of. But you're not going to know that, right? So they want you to stay dumb. And so between the taxes and the trading time for dollars and being a wage worker and like wage workers never win. They never win. And by the way, when I say like I've seen rich people also end up broke, like look at so many pro athletes, football, baseball, basketball, fucking boxing, Holyfield, Mike Tyson. How many times did they go broke? Holyfield is still living at a one-bedroom apartment somewhere, I think, in Philly. Heartbreaking, man. Evander Holyfield, the fucking legend. And it's because there was no money intelligence. There was no way of figuring out how to, well, not no way. There was a way, but no one was teaching him, and he wasn't actively curious to learn how to invest in assets instead of putting his money in liabilities and pissing it all away. Now, this isn't a strike on Holyfield. This is a strike on everybody who is, myself included, who I was broke-minded, right? And it took an active interest in learning how can I protect my money, grow my money, and become rich and wealthy instead of just making high income. So we understand that high income doesn't matter if you're a pro athlete, an actor. We've seen actors go broke, right? Nicolas Cage went broke. Wesley Snipes went broke. Like, these people were making such great money. Pro athletes going broke. And that's because they don't manage your money right. So with that in mind, what do we do? Well, first I have to understand that the single income stream model is stupid. Do not do it. Even if you're going to be a wage worker, you could still figure out how to make money on the side, selling a product, a service, doing something, even creating a YouTube show, doing something that creates additional income stream for you, right? The single income stream is stupid. You gotta have multiple income streams. That's thing number one. Thing number two is poor financial intelligence, right? You've got to make time, even if it's just an hour a week, for the next 10 weeks, make time to research on YouTube, on ChatGPT, to read books on wealth creation. Like, otherwise, you're gonna stay poor. Just like the school system doesn't teach us macros, doesn't teach us how to read a nutrition label. What do? They take the carbohydrate and you go, you know, there's 3 types of carbohydrate. There's fibrous carbohydrates, there's starchy carbohydrates, and there's sugary carbohydrates. And here's the molecular breakdown. How the fuck do you even end up getting lean, understanding the molecular breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins, or fat? You don't. What you want to understand is, what are the number of grams of fats, carbs, and proteins I need to eat? And if they could teach you that based on what your goals are, based on weight and how much muscle density you want to put on and all these things, as a young kid, I taught that to my kids standing in the kitchen, like in like a 30-minute thing. And then I pulled things out of the pantry and I was like, here's how you read a nutrition label. And then here's how you track your macros. Easy peasy. They're both lean, jacked, athletic. One's 17, one's 19 now. And I share that with you because the education that you would expect the school system, the government, the opposition to give, they don't give. If they don't give that on nutrition, why would they give it on financial intelligence? They want you to be financially dependent on them, right? So that you can be a wage worker, you can constantly work, pay your taxes, pay your payroll taxes, just pay. And when you die, by the way, whatever little shit box that you're living in, whatever little assets that you have, they tax that too before they give the crumbs to your kids. That's how unfortunate it is. So I share this with you because the third thing is, if you are trading that time for dollars, you need to understand leverage. So then now let me tell you the 5 ways that the rich and wealthy think, right? And this is a really cool way because once I adopted this into my life, I realized it doesn't matter if I'm blue collar, doesn't matter if I'm an immigrant, doesn't matter if I don't speak English well, it doesn't matter if I didn't go to college, which I didn't. I dropped out of Fullerton Junior College in a whopping 32 days because I decided it is not for me. And by the way, I barely made it out of school in terms of like elementary school, junior high, and high school. Fucking eked by with a D-, right? I had to beg my counselor to let me actually walk so that my Armenian parents could see that, all right, we brought this kid to the United States and he got a high school degree. You know, that second story that I want to tell you is that, you know, like the Roger Bannister story, right? Everyone believed that You can't run a mile in under 4 minutes, right? And Roger Bannister was like, I think I can. Doctors were like, no, you can't. Your body can't handle it. Your bones, your tendons, your muscles, everything will shatter and break. Coaches were like, no, this is impossible. Everyone thought it was impossible until Roger Bannister in 1950-something decided that I'm going to make it happen. And he broke the 4-minute mile. And guess what? Within the next 24 months, over 1,200 others broke the 4-minute mile. Seeing is believing. And that's the second story I want to tell you, which is when I got a mentor, Jim Franco. You've heard me talk about him before, and I talked about him in my book, Man Up. Jim Franco was kind enough to start pouring into me. He was a personal training client of mine. I would train him 3 times a week, and in between the workouts, he would pour into me, and he would teach me. He would help me understand financial intelligence, entrepreneurship, sales, and he was very hard on me. I remember asking Jim Franco, like, hey, man, sales is not my thing. He goes, no, sales is not your thing. You're an order taker. I was like, can you teach me sales? He goes, well, I won't teach you sales, but I'll bring you 3 books about sales. One was from Tom Hopkins, one was from Zig Ziglar, the other one was from Brian Tracy. He's like, read these and give them back to me in 2 weeks. He gave me like 2 weeks to read 3 books, all while I have 3 jobs, right? But it's like, oh, that's how rich people think. They have urgency. They work fast. They have higher expectations of themselves, right? And so as Jim Franco started to do this, and he saw something in me, and he loaned me money for 8% interest, and I did pay him back, and we were business partners on my first gym, Premier Results. You know, Jim was so kind to me. He was like, hey, man, now you got this other idea, high-tech trainer, let me invest into that, which was, I've told you guys before, it was a kind of a Palm Pilot based, because this was well before the iPhone, so there was